Hey guys, Extreme Azure here, and today I am bringing you a very interesting video on a military airplane sighting that I personally experienced. All the footage that you see before you, I personally recorded, and it is, wow, it is really, it was really something. It was definitely not something you expect to see each and every day. Now, I live on the island of Grand Bahama, which is about 50 miles west of Florida in America. And so we're really close proximity to the United States, obviously. Now, we don't really get that much activity over here, so it was kind of interesting to have seen this. Now, it was Sunday that this happened. It was actually Sunday, May 25th. Yeah, Sunday, May 25th. It happened. I just came from a function, a little get together, and as we were driving out, right above us was this giant white, pure white plane right in front of us, and it was flying incredibly low. I don't think it was breaking more than 1,000 feet, if not just a little less. Now, when we had first encountered it, it had its flaps down, it had its landing gears down, and from the location where it was close to the airport, and it was taking the same flight pattern as most aircraft do. They circle around the airport before they land if they do miss it. Anyway, the plane circled for about 5 to 6 times because we ended up chasing after, because we were like, wow, like, what is this? You really don't see this very often. So we drove all the way to the airport and we stayed with it the entire time. And for 6 times it kept going down, coming back up, going down, coming back up. So after taking a closer look, we realized that it had actually touched the runway on its rear landing gears, and halfway it pulled back up. Now, Grand Bahama International is made to accommodate aircraft up to the size of that of the Airbus A380, so the length of the runway definitely wasn't a problem. So we came to the conclusion that maybe, more or less, this airplane was not in any kind of mechanical trouble, and this airplane could definitely land on the tarmac if it wanted to. But it didn't, because for 6 times it kept touching and going on the runway. Now, it was a pure white, completely unmarked plane. I didn't even see a registration number. So we came to the conclusion that this was definitely military. It could not have been cargo, otherwise it would have been marked. So it was definitely a military aircraft. Now, a few residents reported that the door was open, and after some asking around, find out that apparently, allegedly, and this is just a theory, hearing from multiple sources, that military personnel from America come and they scan the area for drug fields, secret drug fields. Now, Grand Bahama Island is a fairly big island, and most of it is underdeveloped. We have about 2 major settlements, and in between are a few little towns, but for the most part, the island is underdeveloped. There are literally dozens and dozens of miles of just completely untouched, undeveloped land. So it is quite easy for someone to go ahead and set up a drug field if they wanted to, because there are many track roads dating all the way back to the times of the Arawaks and the Kayan Indians. There are all sorts of track roads that lead through the bushes. So setting up a drug field isn't really that hard on the south. Anyway, so after seeing this door open, apparently that the personnel, they were scanning the field. They were scanning the island for secret drug fields. Now, I found it interesting that this ended up being the case, because there were multiple theories as to exactly what this was all about. Because we went to the airport, like I said, and I asked about 2 to 3 people, all of which who were airport crew members, and each of them told me that, it's just a routine testing. Some, even though they were airport personnel, they didn't even know what it was. It was just routine testing. But each time I asked someone else, they all seemed to give the same generic answer. as if this was rehearsed or something anyway. And it made me suspicious because, like, this gigantic plane keeps buzzing around the airport, literally going in the same flight pattern each and every time. And from the time we found it, it was 6 times. It could have been even more than that, but from the time we found it, it had done it 6 times within about an hour. So for them to come and say that that's all it was just routine testing, it was definitely very interesting, because we don't get a lot of heavy aircraft on the island very often at all. Not at all. Like, usually the biggest jet that visits here is a Boeing 737. So when you see a plane that size, I couldn't even identify what the model was. It was definitely really, like, beyond interesting, and definitely not something that you expect to see at all. So with that being the case, it was definitely an experience, and truly, as to exactly what it was here for is a mystery. But it was definitely a rare sighting, and who knows, maybe it might come back, but for now I haven't seen it all week, and kind of disappointed, but this was an interesting experience that I'd like to share with you guys here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.
Should have recorded.
That's what they're doing.
So, like
The rail landing gears, they touch down. When it hit the beginning of the runway, it touches down, then it comes back up and pulls it back up.